Since the dawn of civilization, humanity has sought ways to transcend its immediate reality, break free from the limitations of the mind, and find relief from the existential dilemmas that accompany the journey of life. Amidst these pursuits, many doors have been opened: rituals, spiritual practices, and also substances capable of altering our state of consciousness. Among these, alcohol stands out as one of the most widely adopted, present both in moments of celebration and in times of pain and despair. Alcohol has transcended cultures and eras, becoming a dubious symbol, a source of creative inspiration for some and an illusory refuge for others. It is consumed in religious ceremonies, social events, and often as an attempt to escape emotional and spiritual difficulties. However, while much of the attention falls on its physical effects and social impacts, there is a little explored and profoundly relevant dimension: the spiritual implications of alcohol consumption. In this video, we will dive into this issue. We will explore the hidden effects of alcohol on the human energy field, analyze how it interacts with our spiritual essence, and review the teachings of great spiritual masters and ancient traditions on the subject. This journey is an invitation to understand alcohol from a broader and deeper perspective, going beyond what is visible and accessing the mysteries it hides in the more subtle levels of existence. Origin and meaning of alcohol: a journey through cultures and spirituality. The term alcohol has an origin that dates back far beyond the modern idea of a recreational beverage. It derives from the Arabic word Al-Kuhul, which originally referred to a refined powder used as a cosmetic to darken the eyes, now known as kohl. However, for the alchemists, this word held a much deeper and more symbolic meaning. Al-Kuhul represented the pure essence of a substance, a volatile element that could be extracted from raw matter through alchemical processes. For these ancient scholars, alcohol was the spirit of matter, the most refined and concentrated part, separated from its impurities. This perspective has deeply influenced the way we view alcohol to this day, as we still refer to alcoholic beverages as spirits, reinforcing this connection to something that transcends physical matter. The role of alcohol in ancient civilizations. The use of fermented substances like wine and beer is as ancient as civilization itself. Cultures like the Sumerians, Egyptians, and Greeks saw alcohol as a gift from the gods, a link between the divine and the human. It was incorporated into religious rituals and sacred ceremonies, carrying a spiritual and cultural significance far beyond recreational consumption. Sumerians. Considered one of the earliest civilizations of humanity, the Sumerians used beer in their offerings to the gods, believing it promoted harmony between the human and divine worlds. Egyptians. In ancient Egypt, wine was associated with Osiris, the god of renewal and fertility. It symbolized life reborn, a perpetual cycle of death and resurrection. Greeks. For the Greeks, wine was dedicated to Dionysus, the god of ecstasy, fertility, and divine madness. Their rituals involved not only the celebration of life, but also the idea of transcendence and communion with higher forces. Despite being revered as a means of spiritual connection, alcohol also carried warnings. The sages of antiquity recognized its dual power. It could reveal a person's innermost self, exposing their deepest truths. But it was also seen as a door to dangerous influences, capable of clouding reason and destabilizing the spirit. The alchemical influence and the hidden meaning alchemy, the precursor to modern chemistry, played a crucial role in the understanding and symbolism of alcohol. Alchemists saw the process of distillation as a metaphor for the spiritual quest. The goal was to separate the spirit or pure essence from the matter, reaching a higher state of consciousness and understanding. This philosophical view helps explain why, in many spiritual traditions, alcohol is treated with respect and caution. It symbolizes a powerful tool, but one that requires balance and wisdom in its use. Reflections on alcohol in contemporary times. Although alcohol is widely consumed today as a form of socialization and pleasure, its origins carry a much deeper and more complex meaning. It represents a paradox. While it can offer us moments of celebration, and uninhibition. It can also distance us from our true essence, obscuring our connection to the divine. This rich and multifaceted history of alcohol invites us to reflect. Are we using this substance as a link to something greater, or as an escape from our realities? By understanding its origin and spiritual impact, we can begin to make more conscious decisions about the place it occupies in our lives. The impacts of alcohol on the energetic body. While modern science focuses on understanding the chemical effects of alcohol on the physical body, such as damage to the brain, liver, and nervous system, spiritual traditions offer a more subtle, yet no less important perspective. The impacts on the human energy field, also known as the aura. This vibrational field directly reflects our emotional, spiritual, and mental state, functioning as a kind of energetic shield that protects us and connects us with higher planes of consciousness. However, when we consume alcohol, this balance is disturbed. Alcohol acts as a substance that destabilizes the energy field, creating fissures or gaps in our aura. This makes us more susceptible to external low-vibration energies. According to philosopher and spiritualist Rudolf Steiner, alcohol consumption weakens the spiritual self, that part of us that is more aligned with higher will and self-mastery. With this weakening, we become more prone to being influenced by destructive forces, both on the psychological and energetic planes. In the context of spiritual practices such as Spiritism and other esoteric branches, these fissures are interpreted as open portals that can attract parasitic entities. These entities, often called astral larvae or energy vampires, feed on the dense and disharmonious energies generated by addiction, further aggravating the person's vibrational state. Furthermore, the impact on the chakras, which are the energy centers of the body, is significant. Alcohol tends to hyperstimulate the root chakra, associated with survival and material pleasures. This hyperactivity can lead to impulsive behaviors and an unchecked pursuit of temporary gratifications, such as partying, excesses, and addictions. On the other hand, the crown chakra, responsible for our connection to the divine and spiritual perception, suffers considerable weakening. This imbalance creates a detachment from spiritual truths and the ability to see life from a higher perspective. This process can be observed in the difficulty many have in maintaining consistent spiritual practices after frequent alcohol consumption. Meditations become superficial, intuitions lose clarity, and the person may feel disconnected from themselves and from something greater. Finally, alcohol consumption not only affects our relationship with ourselves, but also interferes with how we interact with others and the world. The accumulated energetic density makes it harder to attract positive experiences and maintain healthy relationships, as well as creating a cycle of energetic dependency that perpetuates negative patterns. Unveiling the veil of illusion. The allure of alcohol is often rooted in its promise to relieve tensions and provide a sense of freedom. That moment of expanded confidence and happiness that seems so genuine is, in reality, fleeting and illusory. Alcohol offers a kind of emotional escape, but at the same time it distances us from our deepest essence. Great spiritual masters such as Patanjali, author of the Yoga Sutras, emphasize the importance of cultivating the purity of the body and mind as a prerequisite for reaching higher states of consciousness. This purity is not only physical but also energetic and mental. When we introduce substances that alter our senses, like alcohol, we compromise our ability to introspect and connect with the divine. Paramahansa Yogananda, in his iconic work, Autobiography of a Yogi, explains that alcohol extinguishes the light of the spirit. He describes how this extinguishing creates a barrier between the human being and their search for spiritual fulfillment. In other words, the clarity needed to perceive spiritual truth is obscured, like a lamp covered by a thick layer of dust. This illusion of freedom that alcohol provides is often a reflection of a deeper longing for connection and wholeness. However, by seeking this fulfillment outside of ourselves, in something that is essentially fleeting, we distance ourselves even further from the state of inner peace and balance that we truly seek. True freedom, according to spiritual masters, does not come from external stimuli but from internal alignment with our divine essence. This alignment requires conscious choices, such as caring for the body and mind, practicing meditation, and cultivating elevated states of consciousness. Moreover, modern science corroborates these ancient wisdoms by showing that alcohol directly affects areas of the brain responsible for decision-making, introspection, and emotional control. Thus, both science and spirituality agree. Alcohol consumption not only negatively impacts the physical body, but also limits our evolution as conscious beings. Individual and collective impacts. The influence of alcohol on energy. Alcohol consumption does not only affect the individual, but also resonates on collective levels, altering the energetic dynamics of groups and environments. In social events, such as parties and gatherings, alcohol tends to create a chaotic mix of energies. This happens because when consuming alcohol, people often disconnect from their spiritual center, becoming more vulnerable to instinctive emotions and primitive impulses. This energetic instability densifies the vibration of the space, making it harder to maintain harmony and balance. In many spiritual traditions, there is a clear recommendation to avoid spaces where alcohol consumption is predominant. This guidance is not merely a matter of morality, but rather a recognition that these environments may be prone to attracting dense and negative energies. Furthermore, collective alcohol consumption can amplify unconscious behaviors, intensifying conflicts, misunderstandings, and creating a heavy energetic field. Restoration and hope. The power of human energy. Despite the harmful effects of alcohol on the energy field, there is a message of optimism. Human energy has an incredible capacity for renewal. Even in the face of damage caused by harmful habits, it is possible to restore spiritual and energetic vitality through conscious and disciplined practices. Spiritual practices for energetic healing. Meditation. Meditation helps calm the mind, realign the energy field, and restore inner balance. It allows access to deeper states of consciousness, where healing and regeneration occur naturally. Reiki. This energy healing practice promotes the restoration of the energy flow, removing blockages caused by external influences, such as alcohol, yoga. Combining physical postures, breathing techniques, and meditation, yoga rebalances the body, mind, and spirit, strengthening the energy field against negative influences. Prayer and conscious intention. Prayer is a powerful tool for connection with the divine. When performed sincerely, it can help clear dense energies and strengthen the connection with the higher self, transcending the effects of alcohol. The first step to overcoming the impacts of alcohol is conscious intention. Recognizing the effects it has not only on the physical body but also on the energetic field is essential for promoting real change. This awareness awakens the desire to reconnect with the divine essence, enabling a path of healing and self-transformation. Furthermore, engaging in practices that cultivate vibrational elevation, such as spending time in nature, practicing gratitude, and seeking the company of people with similar values, can accelerate this process. True spiritual freedom arises when we choose to transcend momentary pleasures in search of a deeper connection with our essence. Paths to liberation. The journey to liberation begins with a simple but transformative step: awareness. Ask yourself honestly and deeply, what drives me to seek alcohol? Often the root lies in a feeling of emptiness, a disconnection from our true essence. Alcohol, like many other forms of escape, may seem like a quick fix, offering temporary relief. However, it does not address the underlying cause of this emptiness. In fact, it often amplifies the problem in the long run. The key to breaking this cycle lies in facing our inner shadows. Practices such as mindfulness offer a path to this. When we practice being present in the moment, we begin to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating space to understand where our pains and impulses come from. It is in this space of self-awareness that we discover a powerful truth. True peace and wholeness do not come from external sources, but already reside within us, waiting to be accessed. Another transformative tool is cultivating gratitude. Gratitude has the power to change our perspective. Instead of focusing on what is lacking or the difficulties we face, It teaches us to appreciate the small blessings that often go unnoticed. The warmth of the sun in the morning, the laughter of a friend, or even the simple act of breathing. This mental and emotional exercise dissolves the emptiness we often try to fill with external substances like alcohol, and reconnects us with the abundance present in the now. Furthermore, reconnecting with nature is an essential practice in this process. Spending time outdoors, whether walking in a park, feeling the energy of the trees in a forest, or contemplating the sound of the waves at sea, helps restore our inner harmony. Nature has the power to purify not only the body, but also the mind and spirit. It is as if it reminds us that we are part of something greater, and that this connection can be an inexhaustible source of strength and balance. Finally, remember, liberation is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. It is the daily effort to realign with our essence, to choose the light over the shadow, and to rediscover that what we seek outside has always been inside us. Final reflection. Alcohol can be seen as a test for our spiritual evolution, a crossroads where we decide between the pursuit of momentary pleasures and the connection with what is eternal and true within us. It is important to ask ourselves, does the fleeting comfort provided by a drink justify the cost of distancing ourselves from our purest essence? The teachings of spiritual masters and ancient traditions invite us to look beyond the immediate, to reflect on our choices and their impact on our physical, emotional, and energetic well-being. They remind us that true fulfillment is not found in what is external and temporary, but in the deep dive into our own being. Taking control of our consciousness is an act of courage and self-care. This means not allowing something external, whether a substance, a situation, or an influence, to determine how we feel or guide the course of our spiritual journey. We are called to be the true architects of our destiny. Transformation begins within each of us, with small daily choices that bring us closer to our higher purpose. Practices such as meditation, connecting with nature, gratitude, and self-observation are powerful tools that help strengthen our energy field and find balance. Remember, the power to change, grow, and transcend is and always has been in your hands. At every moment, you have the chance to realign with your truth, to choose a life of greater clarity, harmony, and connection with the divine. The decision is before you. What choice will you make today?